Welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. My name's Carrie. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of September. If you don't know what your Moon or Ascendant signs are, check the description box below. I've put in a link to Astrolabe, I think, and you'll be able to get a free natal chart from there. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, from how to book a personal reading to what deck I use, decks actually, to be fair, it's all down there, so have a look. Thank you to all the subscribers. It really, really means a lot. My heart goes out to you. And thank you for all your comments and messages. They genuinely are the highlight of my month. I can't begin to tell you how much it means to me that you take time out of your day to get in touch and let me know what your personal stories and how they relate to the reading that I've given. The messaging functionality on YouTube is going to be disabled very soon though, so if you want to speak to me, best way to do it is through Facebook or Instagram. I'm on there as Scorched Earth Tarot on both of them, so have a search and find me. Right, I'm actually recording this after doing your reading, because I started to do your reading and then I got interrupted and I had to stop the video. And then I restarted the video, and then after I finished doing it, I forgot I'd been interrupted and I deleted the video that had all the shuffling in it. Massive cock up on my end. I'm really, really sorry about that. So I'm recording this intro to show you all the cards on the table, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, just to make you understand that I hadn't done anything weirder than just being rubbish, I guess, at being on YouTube. Anyway, all the cards are here. You pulled Strength, you pulled the Six of Wands and Temperance, and I am going to join this video up to the video of your actual reading that I've just done, so you'll be able to see the rest. I mean, I could pull it down and show you, but like there's just hundreds of cards here. So yeah, really, really sorry about that, Taurus. Oh, thank you for last month, by the way. Jesus. The Taurus video absolutely blew up and it blew my mind and I loved it. So, like, I'm looking to you again this month, Taurus. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the reading. So, the first card we have is Strength. It's numbered 8. And like I said, it's the card of Leo. The important thing to note about Strength is that it's not a card of brute force. Like, that's never how Strength should be interpreted. The Strength card is about strength of character. It's about, it quite often comes up in response to difficult circumstances that help build character. And at some point, like, we've all been faced with circumstances that we weren't sure we were going to come out unscathed from. But we did. And we moved on. We amalgamated the lessons into, our general psyche, and we become stronger as a result of it. It's about soft power. It's about internal power, not about whether you can wrestle a bull or a lion. It's about approaching all situations knowing that you have the internal strength to be able to see it through and come out the other side. And I find it very interesting that this is the first card that's come up as a result of off the back of the reading last month, because that was all about a tower moment, a small tower moment coming up and making you see how far you'd come. Now this feels like it's a continuation of that previous reading, because not only have you come really far, but you've actually grown stronger inside yourself than you could possibly have fathomed. And I think the impression that I'm getting from the cards at the moment is that you don't yet understand quite how strong you are, and it's about time that you did, because once you recognize your own internal power, then you don't, those moments where you sit and think, how am I going to get through this, become further and further apart,
and they last for a shorter and shorter time, because you understand yourself, you understand your strength, you understand your power, and you approach the world accordingly. And the strength card is clarified by, interestingly, consecutive cards being the Four of Swords and the Five of Swords. The Four of Swords is the meditation card. It's a card about taking a break from things. It can be about withdrawal, physically, withdrawing from the world while you sit and have a little muse on your life. Or it can be more of an internal mental withdrawal. You kind of sit back a little bit, take stock, work out where you are, and it fits very well with the Strength card as a result of that, and it fits again very well with last month's reading if you see it that way. Like, I feel like probably after your Tower moment, the time where that passed and you started having a little thing, to here now you sat in front of me, has been set, it's been spent in repose, considering what has happened, considering how far you've come, and you're starting to get in touch with the fact that you are quite strong. The Five of Swords is an unpleasant card. There isn't really any way of looking at it differently. Fives are about conflict, they're about change, uncomfortable change usually. And the strength that you've built up and the Tower moment that you had last month, I feel, was as a result of this. I'll bring this a little bit closer so you can see it. Swords are words, they're thoughts, they're communications, hence why the Four of Swords is a card of withdrawing, because you are removing yourself from a swords environment. You know, you're literally pulling back, and you're not getting your swords out for anyone, and you're not letting anyone use their swords on you. You're resting, you're pulling back. The Five, there are a lot of phrases that go through my head when I look at this card. One of them is Pyrrhic victory, one of them is hollow victory. This guy in the green, he's pretty smug. And he feels like he can say anything to win. You know, and these two people in the background have dropped their swords and they've walked away. Like, whatever it is, whatever battle they were engaged in, it's not worth it to them to win. Like, what they will lose will cost them more in the long run. And this guy here, he doesn't feel the same. He will literally say anything to win. He's kind of a snidey character. And I think what you've been withdrawing from is an experience that involved this. So this was either a person, physically, that you have engaged with, and you've ended up putting down your swords and walking away because you didn't like the road that it was going down and that it just kept going. Or these swords represent to you thought processes and the way that you communicate with yourself that has changed now. Put you in a period of reflection about the way you think about the world. Whichever way around that resonates with you, you've got stronger by doing it. It's a really healthy response to whatever it is you've been going through. And beautifully, the next card is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is also a Leo card, but it's a card of victory. Right? Not just little victories, but there's a public element to this card. This guy is sat on a horse and he's going through a crowd with his wands aloft, you know, with a wreath on his head and stuff. Like, he is being publicly seen to be winning at something, right? So this could be work, this could be a relationship, this could be something. It could just be your sense of self. You know, people are coming up to you and going, you seem really different, like you seem much happier with yourself. Something like that. You know, it's a very joyful card. There's a great deal of celebration in it. But the guy does look a little bit grave. There. So whilst he's enjoying the public recognition that's coming from his victory, in whatever sense that's occurred, he knows that other people haven't seen the struggle that he's undergone to get that victory. Like, people haven't understood what you've had to go through internally in order to get to this point of visible strength and conspicuous victory. There are no cups in this reading anywhere, so it does not feel like it's a romantic reading. It feels like it's more personal, it's more about you. But take it as it resonates, it's entirely up to you. The first clarifier that you have for that is the Four of Wands. More fire energy. So much fire in this reading. The fours are about home, and they're about security, and they're about stability. It's sometimes about weddings, but I don't get a wedding vibe from this reading. For me, it feels like home comforts, and I don't know if that's just because I'm reading for Taurus, and we know how you like your home stuff, but there's a real foundational kind of feeling about this card for me. And so take it as it applies to you. I mean, you could have finally secured a house for yourself. You could be having some sort of celebration party for something that you've achieved. But I feel like it's more of an esoteric thing for you. It's more of a personal, internal thing for you. You've battled through something. You've had your Tower moment last month, and this month you're taking stock and you're assessing, and you're actually really quite surprised by the results. You're surprised by how stable and secure you actually are, because you never thought you would get here. And not only that, it's being noticed by other people as well. You know, your confidence is increasing. The way you hold yourself is different. You've really been changing, and that's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. And the fact that you're harnessing so much fire this month, I think you're going with your passions rather than allowing your thoughts and the way that you speak to yourself or have spoken to yourself in the past, rather than letting that dictate how you approach the world here on out. You've worked really hard and it's starting to show. The next clarifier that you have is the King of Swords. And he's in the upright, so we take all of the good qualities of the King of Swords here. It's logic, it's truth, and it's about getting a message across. It's about being a good communicator. I'm going to pull another card for that though. Taurus, are you starting to find your voice? I feel like that's the meaning of this card. As the way that you're holding yourself is improving, as you are starting to reflect on the outside, the changes that have been going on in the inside. Part of that, I feel, is like is your communication and your ability to communicate how you feel about things and what you think about things. with less fear of judgment, perhaps, than you've experienced before. You know, the King of Swords is a master communicator. And your strength is now allowing you to say what you have to say without worrying that, that anybody's going to judge you for it. You're starting to sit in your own skin a little bit more comfortably. Let's see these that are flying down here. Yeah, okay, wonderful. So, the two clarifiers we've got there are majors, and that tells me that I'm right about this. We've got the Star and we've got the Magician. And the Star is the card of Aquarius, but it's about hope and healing. It's about fixing old wounds and knowing that you are enough on your own. Like, if you see that card, she's pouring out of 2 jugs, and she's pouring onto the ground and she's pouring into the water. Like, you are an earth sign. You're starting to pour your love into yourself. There's an element of self-care going on here, which is absolutely beautiful. Like, you are really starting to pay attention to what you need, and you're healing yourself from the inside out. And as you're doing so, you're not just fixing yourself, you're bringing out a really beautiful energy into the world, and it's putting you at magician level capacity right now. Like, September's going to be a month for you where you just say all the right things. You've got on top of your ability to communicate, and on top of that you have the Magician. You're going to be able to persuade anybody to your way of thinking about things. And I think that given that there's so much victory here, there's a lot of positivity, that this isn't a manipulative command that you will have over September. It's the ability to be able to show people the right way forwards and express yourself in such a way that they will listen. And that's a wonderful quality. It really is. Especially if you've been frightened to do that. And I feel like you have. The final card you've got is Temperance. Temperance, like I said, is the card of Sagittarius, so yet another fire sign. And Temperance is also about healing, and it's about balance. And what this is saying to me is that you are really starting to balance yourself out. Yourself. I'm going to show you this. So, you see in the Star, she's pouring from those 2 jugs into the water, emotions, into the earth. You. The 3D, perhaps even. And in Temperance, the woman's doing the same thing. She's pouring from a jug. Whatever work you started before now, I was going to say last month, but it wasn't. Last month was about showing you how much work you'd already done and how you were succeeding, at life. So much more than you thought you were. So this month is going to be an extension of that, and you are really, really getting your head around how to balance yourself out, inside and outside, the internal, the external, the emotions, and how you present yourself to the outside world. And your 2 clarifiers are the Ace of Pentacles and the Moon. Right? The Ace of Pentacles is the potential. Everything is possible in the material realm with the Ace of Pentacles. It's whatever you put your mind to, you can create. And then you've got the Moon. And the Moon is about hidden things, but it's about the subconscious. It's about your inner world, one that you might not necessarily have had the ability to tap into that much until recently. And these two sitting underneath Temperance, for me, talk of a healing and a balancing between the inside and the outside. You're really mastering this. Now, I'm going to pull some more cards for that because I'm interested to know what the Ace of Pentacles could mean for you. Two of Pentacles, it's another card of balance. You know, Lord of harmonious change. Things are shifting around you in response to the different energetic field that you are now starting to kick out into the universe. And the Two of Pentacles is about, it's Jupiter and Capricorn. So it's earth energy, but Jupiter is about good fortune. You know, you are literally pulling good fortune towards you and you're not even aware of it. It's going to come. Almost like luck. It's going to feel like luck, but it's not luck. It's about you raising your vibration and kicking out the right energy into the world. More fire sign energy. Like, it's funny because there's only one pentacle card on the table, but I'm not even slightly concerned about that. It doesn't feel disjointed. I think that you are learning, like the magician, to start controlling other elements other than your own. And the problem with earth signs particularly, and like 100-fold for the fixed form of the earth sign, which is Taurus, is that you can get very stagnant. You can get very stuck in one way of doing things, and change is not comfortable to you. You will always resist change. Except that you're starting to embrace it now. Lord of harmonious change. You are starting to bring change to yourself and gently accept it without it kind of shaking you inside. And then you've got the King of Wands here. Now this could be a chap, I'm not going to lie. It's again the Leo card, but it could be Aries or Sagittarius. But I actually don't think it's a person, just as I don't think that the King of Swords is a person here. I think that this is all very much about you. You're starting to harness other elements to help you start living your best life. And we've got Leo, we've got Leo, we've got Leo here. That's the fixed fire sign, right? So you're branching out. You're going from fixed earth to fire. You're starting to see what you can do with fire, and that to me means that you are starting to think about your creativity. You're starting to think about your passions. You're starting to look for ways to live your best life, and by God, it seems like you're finding it. Like, I didn't mention at the start of the reading, but the shadow card on the clarifying deck was the Eight of Pentacles, which is about hard work and about mastery, and that's something that Taurus, is renowned for, because you will put your bull head down and slog away at something until you achieve that level of mastery. That's awesome. We've got it reflected here. But at the bottom of the main deck, we've got the universe, which in the Llewelyn is the version of the world. And the world card features the four fixed signs on it. So you've got Leo, Taurus, Aquarius and Scorpio. And they are the fixed signs of all the elements. The funny thing is, there's a kind of scorpionic vibe to this as well, because there's a level of transformation going on. Though there's no Scorpio card on the table, nothing to indicate Scorpio, and no cup cards, this level of transformation that you are starting to undertake is quite scorpionic in nature. And you're doing it slowly because you're an earth sign and because you're a fixed sign. But you really are branching out, and it's wonderful. Okay. Card at the bottom of this clarifying deck is the Two of Wands, another fire card. You've got ideas, you've got passions, you've got a creative spark that wants an outlet, and you are, in your earthy way, starting to put your tentacles out and see how the world reacts to you if you start utilising this energy, which you can at the moment. And it's beautiful. Like, I'm actually quite impressed. And I don't really think that there's anything else to say. I mean, I'm going to pull an advice card, but it feels slightly redundant because it seems like whatever you're up to, in the month of September, you're going to be seeing some really significant indicators that it's working for you. Ooh. So you've got the Lovers and you've got the Hanged Man. Both majors there, and 6 and 12, right? So they sit quite nicely together. You're going to have a choice to make. One that may require you to change your perspective, and since that's something that you seem to be on with at the moment, that doesn't really surprise me. Maybe the choice comes about because you've changed your perspective. That equally could be possible. Ooh. Expect a message, 8 of Wands. It's going to come in fast, Knight of Wands. We're all about this fire energy this month. I'm loving it. More cards than I wanted, but I'm going to take them anyway. And Death and the King of Wands. Wow. Okay, so I'd said that there was no Scorpio card on the table, but we now do have Scorpio card, and that is a massively, like, important Scorpio card. Death. And out of and we've got the King of Wands again here, right? Expect a message in September that's going to require you to make a choice. I'm not sure if this message is coming in because you've changed your perspective, or a message that will cause you to change your perspective. But it's going to come in fast and pretty heavy. But it's of the same kind of energy that you are now throwing out to the universe, right? And it's going to change everything. You've got massive changes are coming for you. And just as you've been slowly adapting to it, it's putting you in place to be able to receive this. The King of Wands again. Repeating card, you know, the message is important. Things are about to change for you, and it's going to be incredibly exciting. It's real passion. It's fast. All of this is going to happen very fast. I've never seen so much fire in an earth reading. Like, wow. The fact that the King of Wands has come up twice means it could well be a man that brings this message to you, that changes your life in some way. But it doesn't need to be. It can be literally you harnessing the power of this king to make the changes in your life that you want to see. But whatever those changes are, they're going to be fairly spectacular, and they are going to change the way that you see everything. And there's going to be a fairly hefty choice to make in the middle of it. I'm kind of nosy, so I'm just gonna have a look and see what this choice is. You see, I think more than anything is you've been so ready for this change. You've been fighting for it. You've been fighting for it. So this could be something at work. You know, this could be a change that you've been trying to make at work. It could be your relationship. It could just indicate the way that you've had to fight with yourself to reprogram the way that your mind works. But ultimately, you end up with the Empress. And the Empress is a wonderful card to see in a Taurus reading, because she is, for me, the card of Taurus. But not only that, she is the card of bringing new things to life. You know, just as death clears shit away that you don't need and changes everything, so the Empress is there to bring in new stuff. Like, she births new things. You know, she's usually depicted as pregnant, but she's fertility and she's abundance, and it's all coming off the back of whatever it is that's coming in for you in September. You'll have to let me know, because I'm really excited for you. It looks pretty cool, you know. But you've done all of this from the work that you've been putting in on yourself that probably isn't even recognizable yet to other people. In September, it is coming out. It is going to be visible to other people, and they are going to comment on it. You know, you're going to walk around feeling fairly victorious about this, but it's just an outer reflection of the inner work that you've done, and that's excellent. So let me know, because I'm super excited for you. And yeah, I'll see you in Christ. I'll see you in October. Okay. Right. Love you all, and speak to you soon.